On August 21st, 2017, what is being dubbed as the Great American Eclipse will take place on a path 2,680 miles long that goes from Oregon in the west coast to South Carolina on the east, and will be the first total eclipse in the US to go coast to coast in 99 years. The width of the shadow where the sun will be completely blocked by the moon is 70 miles wide and will travel across the land at over 1,500 miles an hour, or 2,400 kilometres an hour. For those on the ground, the time of totality will vary from just under 2 minutes in Oregon to a maximum of 2 minutes 44 seconds in the Shawnee National Forest of southern Illinois, but for a few, the eclipse will last for over 7 minutes. High above Tennessee, 2 scientists will extend the time of continuous observation by chasing the shadow of the moon in a pair of modified WB-57 bombers. Armed with high-resolution and high-speed cameras, a team from the Southwest Research Institute, funded by NASA, will aim to capture the first-ever images of nanoflares, small explosions of energy that frequently take place in the sun's outer layers. Because they fly at an altitude of 50,000 feet or 15 kilometres or just over 9 miles, the view from the WB-57s will be 20 to 30 times darker than that on the ground, and almost free from atmospheric disturbance. For the 2 scientists and their pilots, the eclipse will appear to last for over 7 minutes as they fly eastwards. Each solar eclipse follows a different course over the Earth, dictated by the moon's position and the Earth's orbit around the sun. This in turn influences the speed of the moon's shadow across the Earth and the length of time that each eclipse can be viewed at any point on the ground. The longest eclipse for 12,000 years, from 4000 BC to at least 8000 AD, will be on July the 16th, 2186, and it will last for 7 minutes and 32 seconds and start over the eastern Pacific, move over the northern part of South America and over the Atlantic Ocean. However, a little over 44 years ago, on June the 30th, 1973, the longest total solar eclipse in 1,000 years was predicted to occur, with a maximum of 7 minutes and 4 seconds of totality over Saharan Africa. This extraordinary astronomic event coincided with another fortunate circumstance. The world's first supersonic airliner, Concorde, was nearing the end of its successful test program. In 1972, British and French scientists recognised a special opportunity. For this eclipse, the path of totality would travel at speeds which could be matched by Concorde, just above Mach 2. By flying one of the prototype airliners south to join the path of the moon's shadow, scientists should be able to observe the eclipse for over 70 minutes, 10 times longer than the longest on the ground. Pierre Lenner, a French astronomer, pitched the idea to one of the Concorde test pilots, who then suggested the possibility to his bosses at Aerospatiale, the French state-owned operator of the prototype jet. The opportunity was warmly received, as it was an opportunity to show off the unique capabilities of the new aircraft. The mission posed some technical challenges, however. Because the eclipse would appear almost directly overhead, specialised quartz portholes had to be installed in the roof of the plane, able to withstand the extreme pressure and heat of supersonic flight. In addition, all scientific instruments had to be checked and modified to remove any risk of short circuit that might cause a fire in the pressurised cabin. In February 1973, the flight was given the official go-ahead, and 5 teams of scientists were chosen from Britain, France and America to fill Concorde's cabin with a variety of observational experiments. On the morning of June 30th, 1973, the supersonic airliner took off from Gran Canaria and turned to intercept the racing shadow of the moon over Mauritania. There they followed it across the Sahara until they had to land at one of the few airports which had the stopping distance that Concorde required in Chad. The mission was a success. Concorde 001 observed 74 minutes of totality, the longest ever observation of a solar eclipse from Earth. This record still stands today and is unlikely to be broken anytime soon, if ever. This is because currently there are no aircraft that can fly fast enough for long enough. Even though there are military jets that can fly faster, they don't have the long-distance endurance of Concorde at supersonic speeds, and they don't have the room for the equipment. In 1999, 3 Concordes, 1 French and 2 British, flew filled with tourists instead of scientists and chased the moon's shadow for a short period of time during an eclipse over Europe. However, further Concorde eclipse tours were cancelled after the crash of Concorde Flight 4590 from Paris in July 2000. The original modified Concorde can still be seen in its special livery at the Air and Space Museum, Le Bourget, north of Paris in France. Today, solar research is done mostly by dedicated space satellites like SOHO, the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, which creates its own artificial eclipse with the LASCO, or Large Angle and Spectrometric Chronograph instrument, making airborne observations much less significant than in the days of the Concorde flight of 1973. But its legacy will live on in the flight of NASA's twin WB-57s later this month. So thanks for watching, and don't forget we also have the Curious Droid Facebook page and group where you can suggest new ideas for videos. Link is in the channel page, and we also have a new Patreon page for those who wish to support us. So as always, thanks for watching, and please subscribe, rate and share.